Scared of what?
I don't want you to leave me.
Leave you? Why would I leave you?
I messed up.
Stop crying, dude, and tell me.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? Tell me.
Because he wanted to see me.
Who?
So he pew-pewed his wife, proceeded to whip her with the pew-pew after finding out the 3 children that they had together were not his. His name is Deshaun Flood. He is from Detroit, a 37-year-old man, and he has been arrested with a bail set at $1 million.
Show me one baby mother that would rather the father gets 50-50 instead of collecting a check. I'll wait.
Men don't get swiped on a lot, apart from the attractive men, which is obviously the tall men are considered in that category. And as you just said, you know, that's 14%. They actually get swiped on more than even the most attractive women on the app. So the attractive men have a huge list of women matches, whereas even the most attractive women wouldn't have as many.
Do women want men who have options?
Yes.
Yeah. We only want men who have options. We don't want a man who can't attract anything. You know, like, what is that? Right? So yeah, a man with options is a man with power and a man who can make decisions because he can either be a bachelor or be in a relationship. That's his choice. And he picks.
Women value looks and wealth over qualities like humor and kindness.
Yeah, definitely not. I feel like most women I know were kind of like put off by a man who's too good looking.
Okay, guys, you all know that is a lie. I don't even know why he's asking for her opinion. Show us some studies. I will show you studies. Although intelligence was rated by both women and their parents as significantly more important than physical attractiveness for a long-term mate. For daughters, both daughters 72% and their parents 59% choose the more attractive man as the long-term partner for daughters. And this study is from 2025, guys. Another study here from 2023, the importance of physical attractiveness and ambition intelligence to the mate choices of women and their parents. I have another study here from 2019, the relative importance of physical attractiveness and personality characteristics to the mate choices of women and their fathers. Plus, we have here all the stats from Tinder. We all know that women swipe right on the top percentages of guys. And they don't know their personality or how funny they are. They just see pictures. So that's about attractiveness. So guys, as I told you time and time again, never listen to women that don't know what they want and they don't know what they're actually attracted to.
Because they're like, oh, they're probably like lazy and they've never had to really develop
a personality.
But no, I think most women would prefer a man who is, well, for sure funny and kind over looks.
That's not true. Just think about it logically, guys. When a guy comes up to her to ask for her number, if she's not attracted to him, if she doesn't like how he looks, she won't give you her number. So it doesn't matter how funny that guy is, how smart that guy is, if she doesn't like you. But women don't want to admit that.
It's become apparent that there isn't enough women robbing men, because if the first time I meet you in person is you inviting me around to your house, I'm going to rob your telly.
Ma'am, you can't even carry that television. So what are you talking about?
We as men do not care about height, and we do not care about money. And so because of those, our dating
and we don't care about your diplomas.
Pool is much greater. So for a man who makes $200,000 a year, he's choosing between, say, 9 to 14% of the population, whereas she's choosing between like 0.3% of the population. Do you understand? And this is why men cheat. It's a mathematics problem. That's the reason why. Because for men to meet the standards that you're saying, there's just so fewer of them. I'm not excusing men cheating. These men at the top, a higher tier, have options. What social media did is it did not make it easier for men to meet women. It made it easier for a small group of men at the top to meet all of the women.
Women give this terrible advice that when a guy breaks up with them or ghosts them, it's because he couldn't handle you or he was intimidated.
True.
If you care about your female friends, stop lying to them and saying he was intimidated. We're not intimidated. We have preference. I personally don't like pickles. Because I don't like pickles doesn't mean I'm intimidated by pickles. It's just a fucking preference that I have.
Yeah.
So what happens is if a man wants to marry you, do you know what he does? He asks you to marry him.
Yeah.
If a man wants to
Very
have sex
clear.
with you, he has sex with you. If a man wants to be in a relationship with you, guess what he does? He asks you to be in a relationship. All these games you guys play, that's in your head. Not for us. It's much simpler with us. So what I would tell a woman is pay attention to actions and not words, and don't pay attention to the words at all. And you're going to have a much clearer understanding of where your relationship is.
What was the number that you told him?
4.
What was it actually?
Like 150.
Excuse me?
Sorry, Mom.
Wait,
Sorry,
how old were you?
I was 19. I had a friend who had an older sister, and she told me, have sex with as many people in high school as you can because no one has STDs.
But this is why I say you will never know unless a woman is honest with you. She told a dude for it. He was happy, and then her conscience ate at her. Shout out to her for having a conscience, I guess. I don't know if any man...
You can always tell, guys, don't listen to him. You can always tell by their actions, by their friends, by how they talk, by how they dress, by how they act. Everything tells you how many guys she slept with, how comfortable she is around men, how many guy friends she has. All of these point you into the right direction. It may not tell you an exact number, but you will know if she's a 3 or 4 or not.
You have to understand that you're male and female. You're different.
Yeah.
True.
Just like biology, it's different. So what a female has to understand, sex for men is different than for women. Men don't love with their penis. They want to put their penis inside of another woman, and it doesn't mean shit to them. It doesn't mean that you're less of a woman, that you're not the whatever, you know. A guy can have sex with somebody that doesn't even look like you or is remotely the same as you are. It's just because he wanted to.
And I can prove this very simply. Guys, let me know down in the comments. Have you ever slept with women without falling in love with them? I have done it many times. I have slept with a woman without having any feelings towards her. So that proves that we don't fall in love with every woman we sleep with.
It literally is because he wanted to have sex. It has nothing to do, I love her, I want to be with her, she's now we're going to have my babies. No. I have a penis, I want to put it in that woman. When you understand that, your life will be way easier because the jealousy won't be there.
All of these women are coming back out there, older, more kids, more jaded, man after man.
More trauma, higher standards.
You can date women, you could be by yourself, you could date a man that nobody else wants, or you could date the man that you know everybody else wants, and whether he does tactfully do a little something on the side, you're not leaving.
Women really don't want to look stupid. Right. And so if we are dating a man who is hot and like we're just crossing our little fingers that like he's just not going to cheat. I think the biggest thing about it is like women, we don't want people to feel bad for us. If our community knows that we're with a guy who's really good looking, but he's cheating on us, like because now we're able to leave, we're most likely not going to stand for that because we can't take the opinions of other people that are negative.
Yeah, that's true.
As well.
Why do you care what other people say or think?
Women.
They got cheated on and now they alone. They getting cheated on.
Being alone is better though.
I think dads are less protective than they've ever been because they can't care about what their daughter wears or where she goes or who she dates because that would be backward. You know, it's her right to do that. But then you look around and you see girls doing that. Girls like selling themselves online to strangers. Feminism pushed this idea of like girls and boys are just as strong as each other. And then that led to people thinking, oh, girls don't need extra protection, which killed chivalry, but also killed fathers actually protecting girls. Because the problem is not like women are weak, it's that girls are vulnerable. But now we think, oh, we should all step back, let girls do what they want. We just killed all authority. And so now you have young women like demanding that their universities protect them and demanding that the government step in, and like staring at someone becomes harassment on the tube. Because we degraded the authority of men they trust. We just said, oh,
you can't say anything bad about women. You can't critique a woman because you will be called an incel. Guys, a couple of days ago, I showed you a woman that had very high demands from her boyfriend. She wanted a man that was 6'3", he was rich, he had to dress a certain way, he had to wear a certain kind of watch, take her on vacations, all of that. I had women in my comments saying that I'm a bully for critiquing her. Just think about how delusional that is. So that woman can say anything about men. And if I say something about women, I'm the bad guy, guys. Just think how stupid that is. They have no accountability. They stick up for each other no matter what. No matter how delusional that woman is, you shouldn't say anything against her because she's a woman and you're a guy.
Oh, all kind of protection is patronizing and we don't need it. But then you leave girls completely vulnerable and looking coddled and loved, but actually completely unprotected.
If more women own more homes than men, vote at higher rates than men, do not have to do dirty, grueling work as often as men by any measure, men hold debt at higher levels than women, yet
That's
women graduate at higher rates and have higher rates of higher education. And women claim they have no duty to be a mother, but courts often side with them and go in their favor because of the expectation and role and presupposition of them intending to be a mother. Insurance is less expensive for women, and suicide rates are higher in men. Women also have lower crime rates and are convicted at a lesser rate for the same crimes as men. And yet the majority of the enforcing all these rights and laws are men, including the military draft, which only men have to sign up for. And yet somehow the patriarchy is oppressing women. So is the patriarchy actually that bad, or is it actually pretty benevolent?
Women love toxic men and they'll never admit it, but it's the truth. Every single time you hear about a girl getting back with her ex-boyfriend, it's always, oh, she's back with her asshole toxic ex. It's never, oh, she's back with her sweetheart, nice guy ex-boyfriend. Never. I used to think the saying nice guys finish last was a lie, but it is 100% the truth. The sad reality is if you're too nice of a guy, you treat her well, you never fight, you let her walk all over you, she's going to get bored and move on.
The only time when women choose the nice guy is after they hit the wall. After they're tired of chads, leaving, ghosting them. Only then, after they slept with so many chads, and Chad doesn't want them anymore, and Chad just ghosts them. Now, all of a sudden, they have higher standards. And they're not looking for the hot bad boy anymore. And they want the nice guy. But all of them didn't want the nice guy in their 20s.
I was watching the new Sydney Sweeney movie and the Glenn Powell guy asked her, why did you break up with him? He seems like a great guy. And she said, because we never fought. As soon as she said that line, I'm like, that is the most real thing I've ever heard. Once again, they won't admit it, but women love the emotional roller coaster. I was talking to a friend one time and he hadn't talked to a girl in like 3 or 4 months.
Just think about it, guys. That's why they love Love Island. Because they love the drama.
Months, and he was on a date getting drinks with another girl, and he ran into the first girl for the first time in months. They made eye contact, didn't say hi, and guess who he gets a call from that night? The first girl. Everyone says that men love the chase because men will literally admit that they love the chase, but women love the chase way more. If a woman sees a guy out with another girl and she has talked to that guy before, it instantly makes her want him way more.
Yeah, because women want men that other women want. It's so simple. It's psychology.
If the talking stage or the relationship is toxic, it's an emotional roller coaster, there's some fighting, it makes her want him even more. Nice guys literally do finish last because women just get bored.
I do think, though, especially in the 20s, the average woman has a higher sexual marketplace value than the average man. So she has more points on the scoreboard, as it were.
Yeah.
So she tends to prioritize defense. No. The guy might need to make something happen. I make the argument in the book that it's not inherent to the gender. It's not always that women are saying no, 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 and men are always yes, yes, yes. It has to do with who has more options and who has a greater value within the sexual marketplace. And just like when in a game of soccer, when one team is up many points, they switch to defense, and the other team that's down switches to a more aggressive offense. If for whatever reason in the next half that gets switched around, you see the same strategy being adopted by the different teams. So it's not really inherent to the team, it's inherent to the balance of power that's revealed by the scorecard.
Exactly what I said. In their 20s, they want Chad. They have all the power. And they want Chad, they want to have fun. And when they hit the wall, now they prioritize, I don't know, intellect, or him being funny, or him being a nice guy. All of a sudden, they have a different strategy.
As it were. So you can certainly see that if you know anything about celebrities and athletes who are getting propositioned by women all the time, a lot of them are running defense. A lot of them are not actually taking advantage of a lot of their optionality. It's also very risky for those guys because who knows who they're dealing with.
I've had not one woman comment on my FOBC video, the men don't approach women anymore because of fear of being a creep. And I just want to say it makes me so sad, because if women would understand the power that they hold in this dating world, it would be so much easier. And I don't want it to get twisted. I don't think women should approach men, okay? That would be weird. But I was trying to say is women don't even do the drop the handkerchief type of method anymore. They don't make eye contact. They don't smile. They look like they'd rather be anywhere else but here in public. And I truly meant it to be an empowering message.
And they're entitled, and they don't know how to be nice or to reject a guy nicely.
Because women choose the men. You don't want to date the men who choose you. No, that will get yourself in chaos.
Well, ma'am, all the studies show that women go for the top percentages of guys. All women want a guy that is smarter than them, has more money than them, I don't know, taller than them, everything better than them. So those guys have all the options. It's not the women. That's why they say, oh, he was a cheater. Yeah, because he has a lot of options. So it's not the women that have the power, it's the top percentages of guys that have all the power.
Because you need to get it straight. If he's choosing you, he's choosing everyone. He's talking to every girl. Okay, you aren't special. You aren't.
I remember in my 20s, I would ask a whole bunch of women, what are you looking for? Just tell me, because out of a good faith desire to just...
They don't know what they're looking for. Or they actually think they're looking for certain type of guy, but they're actually attracted to a different kind of guy. They're attracted to the toxic men. They're attracted to the bad boys. But they say in their head, no, I don't want that kind of guy. I want a nice guy. But funny, they always end up with the toxic guy, not with the funny, smart, nice guy.
Give a woman what she wanted. I thought that if I did that, it would increase my chances of getting into a fulfilling relationship with one. That's what I wanted. And I would get those. I like loyal men. I like kind men. I like to feel safe. I was thinking, well, Jesus, I'm fucking those things. Like, why am I having such a problem? And I realized the part that women always leave out is they do want those qualities, but they want those qualities from men that they're already attracted to.
Yeah.
It's like...
They want the Chad that doesn't give them attention, that cheats on them. They want to change the Chad and be all of those things.
If they're not attracted to a man, him being kind and gentle and committed and loyal
doesn't mean anything.
Is not going to transform her indifference into desire.
Exactly what I showed you in the previous video where that woman said, oh no, we don't care about how attractive a guy is. No, they're lying. They're lying, guys. They're lying.
The attraction always has to come first.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is she can't possibly know if that attractive man is loyal or kind or gentle. So that takes, she has to interact with him and relate to him to figure out kind of those personality characteristics. So whatever factors go into determining female attraction, they don't have to do with what she says with her mouth, because on some level she's already decided, I'm attracted to that guy. I sure hope that he's kind and loyal, etc. But the attraction comes first. And so that's why, and this is the part that women always leave out, which can kind of mislead men, because it can make men think, well, I'll just be romantic, I'll be kind, I'll be patient, I'll help her. And they don't understand that these kinds of nice guy tendencies don't work to transform indifference into desire. They have to work on being attractive.
I feel like whenever you like criticize women, other women take this so personal and they just accuse you of being a pick-me, and it's like, no, actually, me criticizing women and holding them accountable instead of just saying like, I support women's wrongs, like women do nothing wrong, and like treating them like a literal pet and not a human being is way more misogynistic than criticizing a woman will ever be. Like, women should be looked at and held to the same standards as everybody else. They shouldn't just like be let off the hook for doing shitty things to people just because they're a woman.
I keep seeing videos on here from women talking about how they can't believe that certain guys would match or approach them, and how these guys are so unattractive that them thinking they had a shot makes that woman feel worse. And inevitably, the comment section is filled with guys saying, see, this is why we don't try anymore. And none of this is anything remotely new. I remember seeing the same thing 15 years ago when I started working on my social skills. But these kinds of posts are exactly why you need to try. Because all this talk about how I had to meet some impossible standard or it would be insulting for me to talk to someone vanished the moment I actually talked to someone. Because even though she wasn't interested in really even having a conversation, she didn't recoil in disgust. She didn't point and laugh. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't mean. She didn't call security and have them remove me from the building.
Okay, my guy, but many women today will do that. We've seen it on the internet. We see them how they record guys in the gym. We've seen that.
Nothing happened, except that she wasn't interested. And yeah, getting rejected sucks, but nowhere near as much as I thought it would. And especially because none of these horrible life or ego-ruining things that social media promised was going to happen to me happened to me.
So this woman unfortunately is stuck on the side of the highway with a flat tire during a thunderstorm. But listen to what she had to say about men because of the situation that she was in.
One said, I'm not a tire shop. Two said, it's raining too hard. Three didn't answer. One guy asked if I was okay.
Okay, so from the start we can see that she's talking to multiple guys, if she can message random guys asking for help. So from the start, instead of showing how bad men are for not wanting to help, you just show that you're a 3 or 4. Good for you, ma'am.
One guy.
Before I let her finish, the first issue I'm seeing here is, why do you have so many different men's phone number that you're calling? You should be looking for quality over quantity.
Yeah.
You should have one good man that cares about you, where when you're in a situation like this, they will drop everything they're doing and come and help you. But
and I can bet there are men seeing this video and instead of thinking like me, how does this woman have so many guys' number and why is she talking to so many guys, and that's a big red flag, he thinks, oh, she just needs a really nice, good guy like me in her life. Let me message her. There are men that actually think like that. This is why I'm telling you guys, stop being a simp. It's not worth it.
Instead, you have 4 or 5 different guys that you're calling, and yet not one of those men care about you enough to come help you. But I'll let you continue.
But I'm sure she slept with those men.
One guy asked if someone's coming to help me. One person showed basic empathy.
And who Whose fault is that, ma'am? It's yours. Stop blaming the man. You chose to talk to these kinds of men. Okay, guys, so I showed you a lot of sad or depressing videos. So let me show you a funny video.
So, I type in stepmom into porn, which is something I do every day, and I just clicked on the first thing I saw, and, I knew 2 seconds in that it was Tracy, because she's my stepmom, and then I thought, well, maybe she's just an actor. Some of these things are fake, but then I saw Steven, my brother, and I knew it was him right away, because we have matching Ant-Man tattoos on our back from the Paul Rudd movie. And I thought, well, at least it's not the whole family. At least Dad's not there. And then Dad knocked on the door. And then I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe I was out of town. I've never been out of town in my life. I've never left this town. But I thought maybe I was out of town. And then Dad goes, don't worry. Grace is downstairs. She's eating chili. She'll never hear a fucking thing. And I remember that chili too. I would have put the chili down, honestly, if they could have let me in to have a porn with them. I love chili, but it's not more important than family porn.
The aristocrats.
Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.